The mop glided silently across the polished floor of the U.S. Air Force Base headquarters, its rhythmic swish the only sound in the vast hallway. At 3 a.m., when everyone else slept, Ethan Miller worked his second job, janitor. His uniform was faded, his shoes old, but his posture straight. Beneath that humble appearance was a man carrying the weight of 2 lives, his and his little daughter's. Ethan had once worn a different kind of uniform. Years ago, he had served as a linguist in the military, fluent in 9 languages, from Arabic and Mandarin to Russian and Pashto. But after his wife, Claire, died during childbirth, his world collapsed. He'd left the service to raise their daughter Lily, now 8 years old, bright-eyed and fragile, fighting a rare illness that demanded every cent he earned. To the soldiers at the base, Ethan was invisible, just the janitor who cleaned their offices. But that night, everything changed. The night everything changed, General Amanda Hayes, known across the ranks for her fierce discipline and zero-nonsense leadership, was working late. She was reviewing a classified briefing from the Pentagon about intercepted enemy communications. A voice message played from the file, garbled, coded, and filled with overlapping foreign dialects. Even her intelligence officers struggled to identify it. Frustrated, Amanda rubbed her temples. "We've got linguists across 3 agencies, and no one can make sense of this," she muttered. Just then, she heard a soft voice from behind her. "Ma'am, if I may," Ethan said quietly, holding his mop awkwardly like a soldier caught out of line. Amanda frowned. "Excuse me," he gestured shyly toward the laptop. "The recording, I think I can help." Her brows furrowed. "You're the janitor." "Yes, ma'am, but I used to work in language intelligence." "May I?" Curiosity overcame irritation. She nodded. Ethan stepped closer, adjusted the playback, and listened. Within seconds, his face changed. "It's not one language," he said. "It's 3, Dari, Chechen, and broken Urdu. Someone's disguising a location reference using blended dialects." Amanda stared. "You can understand that?" Ethan translated the message word by word, tone perfect, accent flawless. As he finished, a heavy silence filled the room. The coordinates he deciphered pointed to a potential terrorist supply route, one their intelligence teams had missed for months. Amanda blinked in disbelief. "Who are you, Miller?" He gave a humble smile. "Just a janitor trying to pay hospital bills, ma'am." The next morning, Amanda dug through Ethan's old military record. What she found stunned her. Staff Sergeant Ethan Miller, top graduate from the Defense Language Institute, decorated for operations across the Middle East and Asia. His record was spotless, until his sudden resignation after his wife's death. Amanda called him into her office. "Why didn't you tell anyone about your past?" she asked. Ethan looked down. "Because the past doesn't pay medical bills, ma'am. The janitor job does." "Your daughter?" He nodded. "Lily's all I've got. Her treatments cost more than I can ever afford. I don't care about rank anymore. I just need her to live." Amanda saw something in his eyes, the same quiet strength she once saw in soldiers who'd lost everything but kept fighting. She made a decision that would change his life forever. A week later, Ethan was called to the command center. Confused, he entered, and froze. On the main screen, his name appeared in bold letters, Ethan Miller, reinstated as civilian language intelligence advisor. Amanda stood beside the commander. "Miller," she said with a rare smile, "your talents don't belong with a mop. They belong here, where they can save lives." The room erupted in applause. Ethan's hands trembled. "Ma'am, I don't know what to say." "Say you'll accept," she replied softly. He did. Within weeks, Ethan became indispensable to the intelligence unit. He decoded intercepted messages that led to the capture of high-value targets and prevented attacks on Allied bases. The soldiers who once ignored him now saluted him with respect. But amidst all this, he never stopped being Lily's dad. Every evening, after 12-hour shifts, he'd rush home to sit beside her hospital bed, helping her with homework in French or teaching her phrases in Spanish just to make her laugh. One night, Amanda visited the hospital unannounced. She watched through the glass as Ethan braided Lily's hair and whispered stories in Russian about Papa's brave adventures. She saw a different side of him, not just the soldier, but the father, the heart behind the mission. When she quietly turned to leave, Lily spotted her and waved. "Are you Papa's boss?" she asked with a grin. Amanda smiled gently. Something like that. Months later, the base received intel about a high-level infiltration. A supposed ally officer was feeding secrets to foreign agents. The evidence was buried in encrypted voice notes, in multiple rare dialects. Ethan volunteered to decode them. But as he worked through the recordings, his heart sank. He recognized one of the voices. It was Captain Ross, a man who had once saved his life years ago. He was torn between loyalty and duty. If he exposed Ross, he'd destroy a man who once risked everything for him. But if he stayed silent, soldiers could die. For 2 nights, he couldn't sleep. Finally, he walked into Amanda's office. "Ma'am," he said quietly, placing the decoded transcript on her desk, "I found your mole." Amanda read it, her expression unreadable. "This must have been hard." "Yes, ma'am, but my daughter deserves a father who stands for what's right." Amanda nodded slowly. "You did the right thing, Miller." The next day, the traitor was apprehended, and Ethan's integrity became a lesson across the base. 6 months later, a formal ceremony was held in the base hangar. Soldiers lined up in rows, cameras flashing. General Amanda Hayes stood before the crowd, holding a small box in her hands. "Today," she announced, "we honor not just bravery in battle, but courage in silence." One man reminded us that true service never ends, even when the uniform does. Ethan stood before her, dressed in his crisp new uniform, tears glistening in his eyes. Lily watched proudly from her wheelchair, clutching a small American flag. Amanda pinned the medal on his chest. "For exceptional contribution to national security and unyielding moral courage, we salute you, Staff Sergeant Miller." The entire hangar erupted into applause. Soldiers who once passed him by now stood at attention, saluting him with genuine respect. As the ceremony ended, Amanda bent down beside Lily. "Your dad's a hero," she said. Lily smiled wide. "I know. He speaks 9 languages, but loves his favorite one." Amanda's eyes misted. "He taught us all the same language, humanity." That night, as the stars shimmered above the quiet base, Ethan tucked Lily into bed and looked out the window, whispering to himself. "Life took everything from me once, but gave me a second chance to serve, and to love." The story of the janitor who spoke 9 languages spread across the military community, reminding everyone that greatness often hides in silence, and that sometimes, the ones who clean the floors are the ones who can save the world. Because true heroes don't need rank, they just need heart.